Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kay. I'm a former professional home organizer, and I am here to help you create a home that makes you feel good, stress-free, guilt-free, and totally doable. So today we're going to talk about bookshelves and bookshelf organizing, or decluttering books, doing everything you need to do with books. I remember back in the day when Maria Kondo was talking about organizing, and I think all of like book internet, book Pinterest, book talk was very like clutching their pearls because they thought like Maria Kondo was telling them to get rid of all of their books. Spoiler, that is not actually what she meant. She just, said to get rid of books that don't work for you anymore, don't serve you anymore. And I actually have said the same thing on multiple occasions. I'm like, hey, if you have too many books and you're never going to read one book again, just get rid of it. But like, honestly, I have to tell you that I really strongly believe that physical media is very valuable. You don't own those Audible books, the same as you don't own all of those things you can listen to on Spotify. Sometimes you need to hold on to some CDs. What if Spotify were to go down? Now, there's a fine line between having a nice collection and hoarding books. We don't want to go there, but I do think that physical media is very valuable, especially in 2025. Yes. Because sometimes I like to just sit on my floor, actually lay on my floor, I'm going to be honest, and like look at books. I do. I get like a cup of tea, I turn on the lo-fi, and I sit there and I look at the book, the Zelda books. Mostly I do that with the Zelda books, I'm going to be honest. And it's very grounding, I have to say. So a few of you have asked me to see a detailed tour of this cabinet, so that's what we're going to do today. This is the IKEA Hemnes cabinet, I believe. I will correct myself if that is not correct, but this was originally purchased for our office / guest room in our last home, and then my husband adopted it for his office, and then he subsequently gave it to me, and I am so happy to have it because it is not only a bookcase, it is a multifunctional storage unit. I have office supplies in here. I've got all of my sheet music in here, my physical sheet music, even though I'm not using that as much as I used to in the past. I still hold on to it because I still do scan my physical sheet music, and it was expensive. We are keeping it. I also have some game stuff in here, like Nintendo stuff, and some other little things that I just like to look at. So I'm going to take you on a tour. We're going to do a little bookshelf styling and organizing talk. What am I saying? As you can see, I have some stuff at the top that is a little messy. Just ignore it. It's totally fine. But from top to bottom, this is what it looks like. I may replace this with like actual nice B-roll that I can slow down and then subsequently have it look nicer than what you're seeing now. But I think it looks pretty cute. Also, if you don't think it looks cute and you like hate it, that you're allowed. You're allowed. I mean, you would be a hater because I think it looks really adorable, but like, you're allowed. Not everything is gonna be your taste. Okay, we're gonna actually start up here with my actual book collection. I have books in just a few places, and this is the smallest section of the shelf. And I have to say that you need to organize books in a way that works for your brain. I know that there are a bunch of ways people love to arrange books. I personally love color blocking. Color blocking helps me actually find the book I'm looking for. Some people will organize them by subject matter, by fiction and nonfiction, by title. We'll have it like alphabetical title, by, whatever. But color blocking for me is really effective because I am weird and I remember what the colors of the spines look like. And so whenever I'm like, oh, I need to find that decorating book, where is it? I know it's right here because I know what it looks like. So I love color blocking personally, and I think it looks really cute. I'm not a big fan of like the Roy G. Biv in that order, like the very, very intense rainbow order. I like to break it up a little bit. There is a little bit of Roy G. Biv going on, but not too much, I feel like. Actually, is it Roy G. Biv? And it is, isn't it? But like in reverse order. Like here's red starting out over here, and then we got the green. It's just, okay. Anyway, you got to do whatever works for your brain. And some people I know, when they have bookcases, they have a really fun thing where they just turn the spines to the back and they'll arrange them that way. That way they all look very monotoned, monochromed, colored, and it sort of is pleasing to the eye. I can't that's not for me personally, because I want to know what I'm grabbing. If I don't know what I can't tell what book it is just by that. So, but if you want to do that, if you are just doing it for looks and you really don't need to find books on a regular basis, that's a really fun tip I have if you really just want it to look like a very aesthetically pleasing bookshelf. Another styling tip I've actually heard and I thought about doing, but I haven't really done it, is removing the jackets from your books. It will give a more sort of library look to your personal library, which I think is really fun, because this is the spine of this book called Wrong About Japan. This is actually, I didn't finish reading this actually, but it was good. I should finish reading this, and we'll see what it looks like without the jacket. It is signed, and signed by the author. I remember I went to go listen to this author talk about this book, and I should definitely finish reading it nowadays. But taking the jackets off of your books is a quick way to elevate or change the feel of your bookcase, because I don't think this is not elevated. I just think that it's like, it's more fun. Let's see. All right, maybe we're onto something. Maybe I can remove some more of the jackets. Maybe we're onto something. Keeping the jacket though. The next piece of advice I want to offer is to make all of your books, you can arrange them on your bookshelf any way you'd like. That's totally up to you. But if you just give them as more room to be together in a line, that it makes them look a little neater. One thing I actually like to use is a ruler. This is a ruler, believe it or not. To do this, it makes it so much easier. I'll take the books. I don't know if you can still hear me because the mic is like way over there. I'll take the books and I'll pull them forward, and they can all be in a line together. The next piece of advice I have is to lay some of your books down. If you want to break up the look of them, if you want to have them all standing up, that's totally fine. But if you want to like mix it up a bit, have it be a little more fun, whimsy, just lay some of them down. Easy peasy. When you are styling a bookshelf, another thing to consider is when you're putting like non-book items, like little decorations, little knickknacks on your shelves in order to like decorate them, fill them with whimsy, as you may. You want to keep your items in a little group, and if you are really stylish and fancy, you want to do it in groups of threes. There's something about groups of threes that is really pleasing to the eye, especially if they're all different heights. Like down here, I've got the play button plaque, I've got these fake flowers and a little mug here in a group of three, and it's really pleasing to the eye. They're all different heights and all different sizes, and it just makes, it's like a general rule that you can use when you're styling spaces. Another piece of advice I have is to just leave empty space. Leave the empty space, because for me, empty space isn't empty space, it's potential space and space to breathe. Filling the entire shelf, even though you can do it, and sometimes that's the vibe, that like maximalist vibe, hey, if that's you, all for it. But if you can, try leaving some empty spaces where there is just nothing. And it makes it a lot more interesting and easier to find things, especially if you're not only using this just as a display shelf. If you're actually using it to store things like I am doing, you will be able to find things and you could just sit stuff down actually if you have some empty space. All right, I've talked a lot about styling. Let's just get into the tour. Let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna start up here for all of you book nerds, because I know a lot of you are interested in books that people read. I think that's kind of fun. So up here I have the majority of, well, the books that are this color. As you can see, I like nature and I like music, and all of these books are really important to me. I have decluttered the books that I will never ever touch again, or the ones I didn't enjoy. If you hated a book, just feel free to get rid of it. Just feel free to just let it go. But I really, really loved all of these books, and this is my new favorite book. This is actually Spider's book. It just has like pictures and behavior and where you can find all the spiders in North America, because I like to go out spidering. Fun, weird fact, because I like spiders. I think they're fun creatures, and they are really just minding their own business, but I think a lot of them are beautiful. And down here we've got just a pile of other books that are sort of black and white, and a little crown, a little tiara that I got one year for singing at something called Princess Day. That was super fun. They gave me a tiara and I sang I think, Mozart and Bach at this event twice. It was really, really fun. And then down here we have some more books. We've got, looks like the blue and the purple books. All of these books are actually really important. Somebody was like, why don't you let go of your Lauda and organic chemistry? Because I'm like, lady, I still read that sometimes because I have questions and I need to know. And you know what actually gets a lot of use still in 2025 is this Moriarty diction book for singers. This is, if you are like learning a song in another, or an aria in another language and you're struggling, this is very, very helpful. I have another one too. That one's also really helpful as well. But I love all of these books as well, especially A Soprano in Her Head. That's a really great book. And I have got a couple of organizing books and another book for insect people. Okay, you let me know in the comments. Are you a bug person or not? Bug people in the comments, rise up. Down here, we've got a couple more books and my glasses collection. Now, I like to switch up my look every now and again, so I've got all these different frames. Sadly, some of these are old prescriptions, so I'm gonna get the lenses replaced. I'm not sure if that is gonna be really expensive or not, but I have this little glasses holder. It's really cute. I've had it for a long time. I will link everything down below if you want to purchase anything that you've seen in this video, but it's been really helpful. And you can, on top, I always keep one of my glasses cleaners and like the latest fabulous pair. Those are my favorite. One of my favorite new pairs. And I've got a couple of other books. Most importantly, my centered writing book. This book actually changed my life, by a woman named Sally Swift. And she just had all of these amazing horseback riding techniques, and with pictures and all kinds of things to help you be the best equestrian you could ever be. I was a horse girl. Absolutely. Last year, my mom's friend gave me this book about Omar ibn Said, and this is an incredible story if you don't know it. I was given this book to read. I haven't actually read it yet. I was given this book to read because I was actually in the operatic version of this story called Omar. I still have the program on top of my bookshelf. That was so incredible. This is actually the first thing I've ever been in that sold out before we opened. It was amazing. But it actually won a Pulitzer Prize like right after we closed the run of this. So if this is running in your city, go and see it. On the next shelf, I have this little bin from Open Spaces. Open Spaces is an organizing company that they don't make a lot of products, but the products they make are really, really nice. So in a bin, I have singing things. I have a nebulizer inside this little container. How cute is this, by the way? They got a little clover right on there, but my nebulizer and its little supplies are inside. I've got my steamer and all of my saline for my nebulizer, and this is a very important box to me. I like that it's in a box where I can't really see what's inside because then it doesn't look as messy. On the next shelf, I have another actually Open Spaces basket. This is the open wire basket, but it has magazines that I have contributed to or magazines that I thought were really worth saving. So I always think that that's really neat. Actually, this is the latest one. If you see this in your stores right now, it's January 2025 when I'm filming this video. If you see this in your store, look at the last page. I am there. So I think that's really cool. On the top is where I have some of my sheet music, my physical sheet music. Now, the spines on the sheet music are ugly. I'm gonna be honest. They look used. I've had some of those since high school or college. So I basically got magazine files and separated them by genre or ways that worked for me. As you can see, I've got lots of Bach. I've got Bach cantatas, Bach choral music, Bach choral music, miscellaneous choral music, just so that I can find some of that stuff a little easier and have it not look as messy. I don't recommend these particular magazine files though, because that happens. They're not super reliable. They're kind of cheap. So I don't recommend these, but if you have a nice magazine file that looks nice, that's probably worth the money. But like, yes, there are tons of Bach cantatas in here. Here is my collection of manga. This is all the manga I have, except for like these two books down here. I have the entirety of Fruits Basket. I definitely want to reread this at some point because it made me cry so many times, but this is my favorite manga of all time. I've got one volume of Honey and Clover. I don't know why I only have one. I probably should just get the rest. I've got all of Full Moon. I loved Full Moon, also worth the reread, and I've got one of Dragon Ahead, which was scary. Next to it, I have my little Animal Crossing leaf that I got from the Nintendo store a couple of years ago, and I just think it's so cute there. All right, below is where we have some of the more like functional items. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is definitely functional as well. I use that for work. But here we've got some of my office supplies as well as decorations and books. So I've got almost, I think this is like all of these Zelda books from Dark Horse. I'm obsessed with these. I first had the Hyrule Historia. I would read that all the time. It's just full of like really cool Zelda stuff. I am a huge Zelda nerd. My husband got me the rest of these because he's the best husband in the world as gifts. And I just sit and look at them sometimes on the floor. They're so fun to look at. I've got 2 volumes of Cardcaptor Sakura. I love Cardcaptor Sakura. I don't have any more of the manga, but I have seen the entirety of the anime several times. Love, love, love. I probably should just get the rest of these. And I have a little Umbreon, super cute. He actually came from Japan. Someone brought him back from Japan, so I'm really excited to have him. He's so cute. And I have this little drawer unit that I've had for the longest time, but it's where all of my office supplies live. So I'll open up and show you what's inside these drawers. All I have in here is like highlighter markers. These are pencils, Zots, which are adhesive little dots that I've had this box for what seems like forever, but these are the greatest. I've got some double-sided tape, and back there I've got a hole puncher. Every now and again I still have use for that, which is weird, but I mean, I have to have it, so that's where it lives. And in this one I have a little more of like smaller items. I've got a measuring tape and I've got a laser measuring tape. This is so fun. I love this thing. It's so easy to use. We've got some Post-it notes, a couple other office supplies. These are things that I use pretty regularly, so I'm really glad to have them pretty accessible here. This drawer unit is from a brand called Like It. I do believe this is a Japanese brand. These have been so good. They are super, they're not hard plastic, they're that soft plastic, like polypropylene, I think, and they have really cute handles, so you can just pull them open like that. They're also modular, so you can put different sized ones on top, and they make both the landscape and the portrait drawers where it turns around and you can have it be like skinny and long instead of, you know, like that, landscape. So highly recommend these. On top we just have Bulbasaur, and this is actually mail that I get from my P.O. box. Sometimes I take a little more time to read them, but I do put them in a scrapbook after I'm done opening them. So if you have sent me anything to my P.O. box, like a card or something, this is where it ends up before it ends up in the scrapbook. I love reading notes that I get sent to my P.O. box. They're always so sweet and mean so much to me, so please keep sending those if you have. On the next shelf, we basically have decorations. I've got a fake bouquet of flowers I've had since like one of my first apartments. I've got my play button here. We've got the Tamarind Hall show mug, but I never use this because it's got marbles inside. The marbles are for this, I'm so old, for doing foot exercises because my feet are in such bad shape that I need to do foot exercises. So if you know, you know. Anyway, we've got 2 photo boxes here from Big So, and these have Nintendo things in them. The first box actually has Nintendo DS stuff in it. Nintendo doesn't make DS and 3DS items anymore, but I loved the 3DS and the DS as a console. So I continue to have fun with it to this day. All of my consoles still work. Actually, one of them needs repaired. I should take it to have it repaired, but I think it just needs like something really easy so that it comes on. I don't know. But I have a 3DS here, like a 3DS XL. That's pink, so cute. I have one in my bedroom, that's just like my active DS. I've got a regular DS, like the OG. I mean, I have the OG DS, but she's broken a little bit and she's downstairs and I don't really need to keep it in this box, but this is the, like, I think second version of the DS. I was an early adopter for sure. This is a DS Lite. Yes, this is a DS Lite. I actually purchased this from either eBay or anyway, it was used because you can play Game Boy Advance games on it. And so I was like, well, I have to have this because I don't have my Game Boy Advance anymore because I sold it back in the day. I regret that so much. I had a Game Boy Advance SP and I sold it and I regret it. So, and I had to buy a DS Lite so I could play my Game Boy Advance games. And then I have a little charger for that. And I do have a Game Boy Advance, but it doesn't have an illuminated screen. It just has the original screen, so I would mainly just use it for Animal Crossing. I also have the charger. I'm like messing up my whole box, but I can fix it after I get done talking to you guys. I also have a DS in there. I think it's the DS I. Let me get it out and see which DS this is. Yes, it is I think it's the DSi. Yeah, DSi. It's a white one. I have a bunch of Game Boy Advance games. And I actually have Game Boy games as well. Look, I have a Game Boy game. I have DS games. I have lots of DS games. So I've got plenty of fun in this box. My other box is also DS stuff, but it's more like accessories. Like it's just styluses, different styluses depending on how I'm feeling. And I do have the only boxes I kept, which I'm kind of sad about, but I'm not selling any of my DS stuff. I'm not that sad. The only boxes I kept were from the game Electroplankton, which is not really a game. It's more of like a exercise game, like a therapeutic game. I have both a European version and an American version. I don't remember which one is which, but this was a phenomenon when it came out. It was like so bizarre. I will try to include some footage of it if I can. It's not a game. It's literally therapy. It's Nintendo. Bring this back. This was incredible. These are actually photo boxes from a company called Big Zo. I don't have photos to fit in there, but I did have DS stuff, so it fit perfectly, and look how neat it looks. Down here, we've got retro Nintendo stuff, and this is my original NES console from when I was probably like 12 or 11. From the late 80s. This is her. I don't think it works anymore. I probably can get it repaired, but I mean, I don't know if I really want to go through and do all that, but this is the original console, so I'm never getting rid of this. It's amazing that I still have it. I like rescued it from my parents' house. And then I've got my original Game Boy. That does still work, unbelievably. It works. Is there a game in here? No, there's no game in it, but she still works. I don't have a battery cover. And I do think you can actually buy a battery cover to replace that, but that is the OG Game Boy and it does work. This is the box that they gave you from working for 5 years at the Container Store. Can you believe that? They give you like a box, which was the replica of the original cash register situation they had at TCS. Very fun. So they put your name on the inside, and they're cute. But in this one, I have more Nintendo stuff. I have memory cards for GameCube. If you are subscribed to my other channel, my gaming channel, you know why I have these. I bought them from eBay. These are the cards that were duds, and these are the ones that had memory on them. I made a video series called Playing Complete Strangers Animal Crossing Saves, because I would buy Animal Crossing saves from eBay and just play their save. And if you are subscribed to my other channel, you'll know that that series is actually incredibly popular, so I just kept doing it. But some of the files I would or some of the cards I would buy were duds, so I'm gonna have to sell those, offload those some kind of way, but these are the ones with information on them, so I want to save those just in case I want to make more videos using them. And I have some amiibos that are copies that I'm gonna have to give away, and I have tiny amiibos, which I haven't organized yet. I do have a way of organizing them. I have a little amiibo book, like where you can stick little cards in, but I haven't done all of them yet. So that is a project for another day, but that is what I keep in the box. It's basically amiibos and GameCube memory cards. It's all Nintendo. And on the bottom shelf is just some more music. This is mainly music books. Like in this one says French art songs. So I basically have, oh, see? Anyway, if I'm looking for like a WC, here's where I would find it. I honestly should replace or maybe secure these or glue these in some kind of way. They're just very flimsy. Like I can't, they're so bad. But they look cute. Actually, they don't look cute. They're kind of like discolored a little bit. Mama, we're gonna have to replace these. Anyway, that's my bookcase and how I've organized it. I hope you enjoyed the tour and got some organizing tips, or if you just didn't need any tips and you just were nosy and wanted to see, I hope you enjoy. If you have a bookcase at home, let me know how your books are organized, if they're organized at all. Sometimes people are just chaotic and they put books up there and they're like, good, print it, yes. And that's great for you. I'm happy for you. But if you have them organized in any kind of way, let me know how you do it and what works for you. I'm curious to what's out there. Because I'm nosy, you know I'm nosy. All right, I love y'all. Happy reading. Or play Nintendo, or whatever you're doing.